Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. Actually, no, sorry, it's not this week ahead. I was in automatic mode. It's not this week ahead. It's actually for Monday and Tuesday is why I'm here. So welcome, an extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 9th. I have to put my paper down. I can't see anywhere else I can put it. Monday the 9th of October, and the time is exactly 7:59 a.m. and it's going to be another beautiful day here, which is so exciting. It's so nice having nice sunny calm weather. It's beautiful, especially coming out of winter, you know. So it's so nice. So welcome. If you're new to watching, what I'm going to be doing is using my combined Speed of Light Oracle cards with my Animal Kingdom. I've combined these two decks to make 110 cards. And I'll be using these cards to find the best card for Monday, the best one for Tuesday, and then the best card for the theme for Monday and Tuesday. So just take on board what feels right and what resonates and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. Think of this as a guide only, and let's allow ourselves to be surprised as we go on this journey together. So, how was your weekend? Interesting energy around, wasn't it? So let's see what's happening for Monday and Tuesday as we group these 2 days together. So the best card for the majority of us for Monday, the 9th of October, is this. And it's this, the Focus card. We haven't seen this for a while. It's card 38, and it says holding position, timing and growth. So this has a bit of a fixed feeling. So holding our position, holding our stance on something. Sometimes this card, in fact quite often this card also highlights naysayers or people around us who don't agree with why we want to do something a certain way, or don't agree with our stance or our position. And we've been encouraged to kind of, I think sometimes it's good to listen to people who are important in our life, but not people who have no idea about our choices and our motives for holding our position at this time. So we can let the naysayers' opinion wash over us like water off a duck's back. Of course, if it's someone close to us who has an opinion or is concerned about us, I think it's good to listen and then decide for ourselves if we need to change or hold our position. So basically we know why and what's led us to this point in our life, this path here in the illustration. This is our past, and no one else knows better than us why we have chosen the path that we've chosen. In fact, we might not even know that well ourselves, but we should know better than anyone why we've chosen certain paths and made certain choices and decisions along the whole journey of our life, and that hopefully we make the best decision that we can in that moment. And if we've done that, then we shouldn't really have or allow regret to come in, or really regret that decision. Because if we made the best decision that we could in the moment at the time based on what we thought was best, then we have to live with that and trust that was the right decision to make, that led us to this point in our life now, which is where we stand on this rock, holding focus, holding our position. We can trust in perfect timing. So if you've been feeling impatient and things aren't moving as quickly as you would like at the moment, especially on Monday, but it's not usually something that happens just on one day. So there might be a situation that feels like it's a bit slow moving, and maybe your patience is being tested. So you can trust in perfect timing that the door will open, or the everything will happen at the exact right moment. And there is growth in this card as well, so it's showing a period of growth. So there's something deeper that's happening under the surface, really, for many of us on Monday. We're figuring out where we stand or where we fit in our current position. We may even be shifting positions a little bit and figuring out the best position for us, or the best stance, or the best role to play, or whatever it might be. And it's most likely something we can consider, especially if we're at the moment, if we're deciding what is our stance or what position do we want to hold, what do we feel about this thing, what role do we want to play with this. It might be worth really considering our past journey and past relevant things that have led us to now. And do we have a tendency to go all in? Do we have a tendency to run away? Do we have this tendency that we're noticing in the past that we could sort of test or learn from and maybe adjust the role that we play or the position that we're looking at right now on Monday? So it's quite a complex card, this one. Ultimately too, like in simple terms, it's about focus and really looking at avoiding distractions, and procrastination is a distraction. Avoiding distractions that are taking our focus away from where our focus needs to be. So ultimately, maybe let's consider, where does our focus need to be on Monday, and are we focusing on that needs our attention, that is the highest priority in our life. So that's for Monday: holding position, focus, and lots of other things. So quite in depth, and it does actually feel a bit like that. Since last night, which is Sunday night for me, I noticed that I was slipping into quite deep contemplation about things in my life. So I kind of feel this depth that wants to come in for Monday, that might have some of us really seriously and deeply contemplating our life, where we've come from, where we are, and where we want to be going. So that's for Monday. Welcome Margarita and Debbie's from the UK, and welcome everybody. It's so good to see you. So the best card for Tuesday, the 10th of October for the majority of us. And we've got another Speed of Light Oracle, and it's the projection card, card 15. Vision, focus, concentration, and chaos. So we have a theme coming through around focus and really concentrating on what needs to be done. Now, what and how do we know what to concentrate on? I think we need to work out what our priorities are. So what needs our attention? What's most important for us to focus on at this time? And like I've said before, I think it's really helpful to make a priority list, especially if we're not sure of our current priorities, or if we're losing focus and we feel a bit scattered and like we're wandering around aimlessly in life and we don't really have a direction. And also if we've been going through changes, so personal or big sort of changes in our life, then I think it's really important to look at our priorities. And I personally do this at least once a month when things are flowing well for me, and when I have intense things happening and I've got to really stay on top of my priorities, then I'll do it every couple of days. But I find it helpful to make a list of my priorities. But I don't just make one list, I make two, because I make a list of the things that I'm currently prioritizing, and that includes things that take up airtime, the things that I'm thinking a lot about might be bumped up on the priority list. Even though I might not be doing a lot around that particular priority, it's taking up a lot of head time, a lot of airtime in my head. So then that might bump that thing up my priority list as far as what I am actually spending my time doing. So I make a list of the things that are actually playing out in my life that I observe that seem to be top priority, second, third, fourth. There's usually probably about 7 to 10 things on my priority list. So the things that are actually my priority, playing out in my life now, and the things that should be, or I want to be, or that need to be my priority. So I make 2 lists of the actual and then what should be. And then I look at how they match up. Some of the things might match up, but some of the things that I consider should be lower down in my priority may be bumped up because of some concern or something that's going on. So I need to keep perspective of my priorities and make sure that I am focusing as much as possible on the things that are of the highest priority in my life. So I think creating a list or something, if you might not be a list person, maybe you're someone that can just figure it out, but especially if you've been distracted or struggling to focus lately. So this is coming up for Monday and Tuesday. This is very much about avoiding distractions on Tuesday especially, and staying focused on the task at hand and focused on what needs to be done rather than being distracted by the shiny object over on the side or something. So see how you go. And it really is ultimately too about finding order in the chaos. And that's part of the excitement I find about figuring out my priorities and focusing my energy and focusing my time, is trying to find the order in the chaos. Because when we don't have the priorities or the focus, then things can seem to be quite chaotic and quite uncertain, a bit confusing perhaps, or like we don't really have a direction. So to me, it's about figuring out how to find that order in the mess or in the chaos of life and of things about life. So projection is our Tuesday card. So that's that. We've got a theme already coming up around focus. So let's see what the theme card says in a minute. Before I pull the card, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, then please interact. Please show us, please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd prefer to connect more privately, please send us a message through our website. If you'd like to learn more about my cards that I created and start working with your own deck or two, then you can learn more on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. And if you want to learn more about me and if you want to support my work, then please visit my website. Thank you all for your support too in the last week. I'm very, very grateful. So, what have we got coming up next Friday? Actually, it's this Friday. Is it this Friday? Yes, this Friday is my next online art class and my next online card reading club that happen every month. So if you're inspired or interested in connecting with others and learning about oracle cards or getting more creative, then I really highly recommend you look at my online art class and card reading club happening this Friday the 13th of October. And if you can't join live, you can be sent the video recording. So thank you so much. Let's grab our theme card. The theme card will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Monday and Tuesday. Even though we already see a theme, let's see if it's a more expanded theme reveals itself in this card. So the best theme card for the majority of us for Monday and Tuesday, the 9th and the 10th of October, is an Animal Kingdom Oracle card, and it's the Turtle. Card 45, and the turtle says, slow and steady. So this is about pacing ourselves Monday and Tuesday. Let's not be hasty. Let's not be jump in too soon perhaps or prematurely. Let's take our time with things, and maybe this is part of that focus distraction kind of conundrum or energy that we might be playing with too over Monday and Tuesday, that if we're distracted and we're going off following some shiny object to the side of where our energy is best focused, then we might find ourselves being hasty and there's a sort of being taken away or carried away with some idea or some fantasy that's not anchored in our reality or in our priority list at all, or our priorities. So if we can stay focused on what is right in front of us and what is most important and find our steady pace with that, so really pace ourselves. It doesn't necessarily have to be slow. It might be slow for some of us, but it's more like a steady pace, a steady, consistent pace. It feels more like going the distance rather than running the sprint or the fast marathon, that it's a distance thing that we're doing. So that also suggests that some of what we're focusing on at this time is something for a long-term project or a long-term goal or a long-term thing that we're figuring out. It could be saving to reduce our debt, or saving for something that's years away, for example, or months away. There's something about focusing on the long term and going the distance in a well, not necessarily slow, but it could be slow, but in a steady sort of way. There is a sense here too of security and protection, with the turtle wearing its house on its back, which I always find quite fascinating, especially living in a caravan for a couple of years with my 2 children and going on exciting adventures years ago. That was always felt really comforting to know that we could just pull over and there'd be a bed in the back. And I really felt like a turtle, you know, like having my house on my back there was just something so grounding about that, something so secure, that it was all there, just a short walk away, even though the roots weren't planted, because there was a travelling kind of element involved. So what about your security, your home perhaps, your survival, or your shelter is under the spotlight too over Monday and Tuesday? So maybe there's something happening, or that you're working towards in the long term around your home, around your shelter. So that might be relevant for you with the turtle energy. So this is our theme card. And there's a protective element too. And I feel like when we're focused and we're clear about what we're doing and where we're going, even though we might not know exactly where, but we're sort of trusting in the bigger picture, there is a sense of protection with that. Like, we are safe and protected when we're following that calling and that path, and when we trust in that completely. When we're off on tangents, or we're feeling really unstable and we're reacting to things and we're distracted by things, it's very unsettling to our security and our sense of stability and groundedness. So if you've been feeling that way, a bit kind of ripped and torn and directionless, then I would really heed the advice here about focus and priorities, and really look at how you can hone your energy in and get your attention onto something, onto a little goal. It could just be waking up each day and doing the dishes, or setting yourself a little goal or a plan that's doable, and just give yourself a bit of an incentive, a bit of a focus here, and that will help bring things into a more consolidated way, is the feeling. So the turtle is our theme. Have a great Monday and Tuesday, and I really love the little themes that we're getting. And I remember when I was doing readings like this previously in years past, one of the reasons I loved them was this little theme, these little themes in these pockets of the week. And so it's really cool just to really have the spotlight under, the magnifying glass under these couple of days. So we've got a big theme around focus, and ultimately really a stability that wants to come in, which is supportive and protective. And let's see how we go. So thanks so much. Have a fantastic couple of days. I will be back on Wednesday, so please look out for my video on Wednesday. In the meantime, enjoy the guidance that speaks to you from this video. Take care, and I'll see you soon.